So what's different about buying a FSBO home? A lot. I need you to stay with me to the end so I can really show you. Since the owner doesn't have an agent and you don't have an agent, you need to be sure that the transaction is conducted legally to protect yourself. Any buyer or seller without representation by a licensed realtor who's covered by errors and omissions insurance risks being sued personally in case of errors or accusations by the other party. Realtors must carry errors and omissions insurance. So, for example, if anything was misrepresented to you or any known environmental hazards or latent defects were not disclosed properly, your realtor's insurance coverage might cover your costly damages. But if you have a claim against a for sale by owner with no insured agent, you could incur legal expenses if disputing the negligence or misrepresentation on your own. A smart realtor will have the seller sign a seller's disclosure, which details many important things about the property history that the seller knows about a property. If the seller fails to disclose any known defect or hazard, and it can be proven that the seller knew about it, the buyer can sue. So be sure to have your FSBO seller fill out and sign this multi-page legal document. If you need a copy, let me know. So what if you cancel your for sale by owner purchase for a valid reason and you want your deposit back, but the seller says no? Without having a realtor, the National Association of Realtors will not step in to help you arbitrate to get your deposit back. And you can end up with legal expenses trying to retrieve your deposit on your own. Some FSBO owners don't even know that they're legally responsible to disclose latent defects or environmental hazards to you. Some don't even know that the law requires them to leave certain items at the home when they leave, like the stove. One wrong or missing word on a contract could change everything too. Most FSBO owners are very happy to work with buyers who have real estate agents representing them. They get to save money on not having to pay a listing agent, and they also get some professional guidance too. And you, as the buyer, pay zero for an agent. So it makes solid business sense to have your own representation and a negotiator on your side. Most importantly, your agent will know how to protect your interests and also help you negotiate price, while you keep your poker face on. Not using an agent for negotiations is like playing poker with your cards exposed. This could cost a buyer thousands. Many for sale by owner homes are overpriced. Sellers tend to add extra value to their homes due to their personal feelings about the home and not actual market data. Your realtor can show the FSBO seller actual market data to make them understand the true value of their home, if needed. Your realtor may help advise you to add certain contingencies to your sales contract, which sometimes could protect you from losing your deposit or being sued for breach of contract if you have any reason to cancel the contract. Your realtor can help you renegotiate for repairs or concessions to be compensated for the list of failures pointed out by your home inspector's written report. Real estate purchase decisions and negotiations made now will have an effect on your financial future and will reflect on the total funds you have accumulated for the future and how comfortably you can retire. I'm going to share with you the top 4 scams that buyers didn't even see coming. I met a woman that told me she bought a FSBO in cash with her life savings, and she didn't have any representation, not even a title company, because she needed every dollar for the purchase. She was so thrilled that all of her hard work waitressing for 23 years finally paid off. Shortly after the sale, she was receiving phone calls from 2 different lenders looking to foreclose on her home, and she learned that her new home had 2 existing mortgage liens on it that were now her obligation as the new homeowner. So she had the choice to either foreclose and lose her life savings and her good credit rating, or pay someone else's mortgages for the next 30 years or so to keep the home. Never skip the title search. Never, never, never. It's well worth the cost. In this case, she lost her life savings and no one could help her do anything about it. Another common scam. The buyer has a closing attorney, but his computer gets hacked. The hacker can see which clients are scheduled to close next week. So they all get an email that looks like it came from that attorney. It even has his logo and his email address looks real because the hacker copied everything from his former emails to past clients. But no one examines the email address close enough to notice that the one is really an L. See my example? The hacker changes the wiring instructions in the email so your bank wires the money to his account and not the attorney's escrow account. Typically, this is a large amount of money, a 20% down payment, and closing costs too. The next day, the buyer shows up for their closing, and the attorney says, "We didn't receive your wire yet, so we can't close." Uh-oh. This scam is so common, I see it at least once a month. You see a FSBO home that's a great deal, and you want to get it under contract before the seller realizes it, only to learn that after you gave the seller the $5,000 or $10,000 good faith deposit so they would stop showing it to other people, the seller disappeared because he or she was an imposter that didn't even own the home. Even the ad for the home disappeared online. This scam is so common. Whenever I see a home listed for sale or rent by owner that's underpriced, I investigate it myself on the tax records to see that the seller is not the owner of the home. Many times I tipped the police off on homes that were fake sales, and they were grateful to be able to save people from falling victim to the deposit scam. So one victim told me that she gave her personal information to a fake landlord, thinking it was an application for a rental. Then he told her they accepted a different applicant for the rental. She didn't give them a deposit yet and said she couldn't give it to them until the day before moving in because she needed to get her deposit back from her current rental. The scammer then realized that he couldn't scam a deposit out of her, but he had her credit report, social security number, birth date, and address from her application. So he sold that information, and she was now a victim of ID theft. She had to spend thousands to try and clear her good name. She even had to fly across the country to go to a plastic surgeon's office and lift her shirt up and have the doctor examine her breasts to prove to the doctor that she did not have breast implant surgery and that the mystery woman who did stole her identity. The proof was clear, but the rest of the stolen credit for merchandise in her name was not so easy to prove, and it may never be resolved. Since you pay $0 as the buyer to have a realtor represent you when buying a FSBO or any agent-listed property, take full advantage of all the things I mentioned above being free to you. So if you're interested in any FSBO or agent-listed property, contact me before making an unrepresented offer on your own. I can help you research the actual value of the property and the property history, and maybe I can help you negotiate a better deal. Be sure to add my number in your contact list on your phone to be prepared should an opportunity arise. The best way to reach me is to text me at 561-714-0931 or email me at realterrific@gmail.com. My website is realterrific.com. Hope to hear from you soon. So let me know what you think of my content in the comments below. If you click like or subscribe, that will encourage me to keep them coming. I respect that you're investing your valuable time, so I try to keep my content as concise as possible. I always look forward to your feedback either way.